Okay, guys, let me share my screen. Okay, I'm assuming you all have Visual Studio Code installed. Is anybody having any issues with Visual Studio Code? If yes, then we will take it towards the end of the session. So I have installed Visual Studio Code, and before we get started with all the examples for today, I just want to revise what we have covered on in our last class, and we pretty much talked about interfaces. So, what is an interface, right? So, it is very similar to an abstract class, but the difference is in the abstract class, you can have abstract as well as non abstract methods. Whereas in the case of an interface, you can only have abstract methods. Okay, so methods without any body, that's why they are called as abstract. Now, you might ask, what is the purpose of an interface? Basically, think of it like a contract that everybody who is implementing this interface has to follow. So, in the case of abstract, you use the keyword extends, whereas in the case of interface, we use the keyword implements. One another benefit of an interface is, if you remember, you can only have one parent in the case of inheritance, whereas you can have one particular class can implement from multiple interfaces. Implements a comma b, it can have multiple interfaces. Now what it has to do, this particular class is responsible for implementing the methods that are available in this interface as well as this interface. Okay, any questions up till this point?
Thanks, Deepika,
So,
for recapping
yeah,
that. I missed the Friday class.
no worries, no worries. So this is our, and another important thing is, if you have two interfaces, you will use the keyword extends. Okay, so let's say you say interface A and there is extends from, you will use the interface B. Okay, and then there could be a class which is class C, which implements interface A. So now what it has to do is, class C is responsible for implementing the methods that are available in A, and since A extends from the interface B, so whatever is in B, that also class C has to implement. Okay, now let's go ahead and do some examples. So the first
So
thing is,
Deepika, sorry
yeah,
to interrupt.
go ahead.
So you just showed one that A implement B comma C. Is that a right syntax?
Class A implements class B, and yes, comma C, correct.
Okay, then I would like to know that what would be the difference between A implements B comma C versus A implements B extends C.
Okay, so in this case, so is C, so if you're saying class A implements, then it means B is an interface. So you will always use something like that. You will say class A extends class B implements C. So the implement portion will come later. First, this in this case, A is a class, B is also a class, and C is an interface. Does that make sense, Rahul?
Okay, but the one that you showed a moment ago where A
There were two
implements.
interfaces. It was interface A extends interface B. So in this case, when you are two interfaces, you use the keyword extends.
Okay, so both are interface, A and B
Yes,
both are.
yes,
Okay.
A and B are both are interface. If there is a, okay, let's go back. Let's see the,
Yeah, I just want to know that what are the possible combinations that are allowed.
yeah, I'll show you. We will take a look at this one. Majority of the time, this is where it is. So I do have an example. Yeah, so here this is the class. One is this one, a class which implements a serializable interface and this interface. So this is one syntax. If you have just two interface, then you will use the extends. And if there is a class as well as interface, so you will say class A extends class B, implements class C. So C is an interface, B is a class, and A is a class. Okay, so let me write it down for you. So you can have one option is interface A implements, it would be B. So B is an interface and A is also an interface. Second thing would be class A, sorry, this in this case it would be extends. Both are interface, and if it says class A implements B, then B is an interface, A is a class. And then you can also say class A implements B and C. So these two are interfaces. These are the possible options that you have.
There is another one you showed that class A uh, implements B and extends C. Is that
No, it'll be
okay?
class A extends B,
B?
implements C.
Okay, this is also possible.
Yeah, so B is what? B is a parent
Class.
class and
Mhm.
C is an interface.
Interface. Okay, so
Yeah,
these are the four possible combination between
yeah,
implements and extends.
yeah. If there are two interfaces, you will use the keyword extends. If there is a class and interface, you will use the keyword implements.
Okay, got
Okay,
it.
now let's go ahead and do a couple of examples. So the first one we will do is, and this is how you will do it. Interface would be the keyword, the name of the interface, and then you will define the method. So all the methods are by default public inside of an interface. Okay, so all the methods are always going to be public. So you, by default, it is like that. So here, if one class is implementing that interface, so it becomes the responsibility of that class to provide the definition of both those methods that are available in this interface, as long as this class is a non-abstract class. Now, if this class is an abstract class, then then it is not the responsibility of an abstract class to implement everything. Any class which extends from this abstract class, that has to provide the definition. Now let's go ahead and do some examples, and then we will discuss what I'm talking about here. So we'll create an interface called greetable. So here I'll go back. I'll go and right click here, class, create an apex class. This is the name. I'll change this to um, and inside of this, we have a method. And then we will also go ahead and create a class, formal greeter. So we'll go here. Now greetable. And then once I do this, I'm supposed to implement both the interfaces. So I'll go ahead and, sorry, one, implement the method that's available. And then here I'll create another class, casual greeter. Okay, so now you have three methods. Sorry, you have two classes and an interface. Okay, so now this is our. So let's go ahead and deploy the source to the org. Okay. Okay. Now we will go to the hello.apex, and inside of this, I'm going to, now you guys have to tell me what will be the output. Okay. So now, first of all, can you write like this? Formal greeter equals to greetable, because greeter is nothing but it implements this interface called greetable. So you can say that you can put formal greeter inside of a greetable interface. So this is correct. Now, in this case, I'll start with Lohit. So when I say G1 dot of greet Alice, which greet method from which class will be called?
From greetable, like formal greeter.
Formal greeter. Okay, so I'll go to the greeter. Now what it is going to return?
It's going to say good day, followed up with the name. I think you had
Name was
Alice.
Alice. Okay. Ajay, what is going to be the second one? Which class is going to be called in this case?
From G to casual greeter. So it goes
Casual greeter.
to
And let's go to
yeah,
casual greeter. And this is going to say hey and then Bob,
Bob.
right? Okay,
Yes.
so now let's go ahead and execute it and see if this is correct. You can say here, good day, Alice, and hey, Bob. Did everybody understood? Lena, did you get it? Is Lena on the call?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anybody has any questions before we move on to the next one? Rahul?
So that greetable is that extending,
It's an
right?
interface.
That's an interface, and uh, okay, and where the
And then,
implements keyword was used?
yes, right here.
Oh, okay, okay, yes, okay.
Okay. And then the next one is implements greetable here. So moment you write this line, implements greetable, you have to implement that interface. Sorry, implement that method which is available in this class, in this interface, and there is a method called greet. So formal greeter is also implementing the greet method, and casual greeter is also implementing the greet method.
So on the final hello apex, is there any import statement or something we have to use? Maybe not
Which
if it
one?
is in the same folder, right? I mean, is there any implements or import any import or
No,
something that we use?
no. See,
No.
this is just like, this is an anonymous window. Think it like an anonymous window. So in our anonymous window, we never wrote imports or anything like that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is just like
And
your anonymous window.
and what it would have been I mean, how the code would have been interpreted if instead of greetable G1, if we write formal greeter G1 equal to new formal greeter?
No, nothing would have been a difference. So, but the better way is, so if I do this, it'll be giving you the same output. So if I go ahead and execute it, um, clear the log panel, execute, output is going to be the same. Good day, Alice, and hey, Bob.
Right.
Because
Okay.
depends on the right hand side.
Okay.
Okay. So if the right hand side is a formal greeter, that class method will be invoked.
Okay.
Okay, so now
So
let's go on.
is there
Yeah,
any,
go ahead.
I mean, will there be any, is that a best practice to use that
It's best practice to use interface name.
the parent interface? Okay,
Yes.
the interface name.
Because
Okay.
see, you can, because the thing is, that's the contract, right? So formal greeter is a type of greetable. Similarly, casual greeter so it's better to use interface.
So in this case, the formal greeter versus greeter, so should we refer them with something that, okay, if I mention greeter, it is kind of gonna be like a parent interface. Is that right reference, or what does it call? I mean, if I mention that instead of greeter G1, in that case, what the greeter should be interpreted as, like parent interface? Is that how?
There's no parent interface, just interface. You're saying this one, right? Greetable. If we write it
Right.
this.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is just an interface. Yeah.
So greetable versus the formal greeter, when we are going
This
to explain how we should refer them.
I didn't understand your question.
Okay, so right now you have the greetable G1, and
Hmm.
now for the second one, if you use casual greeter G2,
Hmm.
if you copy paste that in there. So
Okay.
now, what is the um, difference between two, even though the output is same, but when we are going to explain where these two are different?
See, these two are, see, formal greeter is a greetable. So you're saying it implements that interface. This is the concept of polymorphism, right? You have this interface can specifically called as a formal greeter, or it can also be called as a casual greeter. So this is like a bigger bucket in which you can put the subtypes.
Kind of
Here you
generic.
are hard coding your casual greeter. You're hard coding that, okay, this is only casual greeter, but ideally you could have used the same greetable interface over here also, that tells you that casual greeter is a type of greetable.
Okay, okay. So now, like,
Mhm.
the greetable is more of like a generic interface, is that?
Exactly. It is a generic, and yes, correct.
Okay. So now the right side, the formal greeter, it is a constructor, right?
When you write this, it calls the constructor, correct.
And the
You're
left is
creating
the
an
class
object.
name. The left side greetable is the class name.
No, greetable is the interface name.
Uh, okay. Yeah.
And this
Interface
is your
name.
class. And when you
Mhm.
write this statement, it basically calls the constructor.
Constructor of the class. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
No worries. So now let's go ahead and do the next example, which is our interface here. I'll create another here, Control Shift P. Okay. And I will change it to as an interface. And inside of this interface, now everybody pay attention because you guys will be doing this. So this is the one. Now, if I go ahead and go over to this class circle and Control Shift P, create Apex class, circle. And here I go ahead and circle implements the shape class. Now, the moment I do this, what all methods do I do the circle class has to implement? All the three methods, right? Because these three methods are defined in the interface. So if circle is implementing from the shape interface, it is the responsibility of the circle to provide the definition of all these methods. So here I will go ahead and provide the definition. So, and then the other one is a rectangle, which also implements the shape interface. Okay, so now this is our anonymous window. Let's see what's going on. Now, you guys have to give me the answer in the chat. So let me first deploy this source to the org. Then I'll go ahead and deploy. Okay. Now, guys, tell me what will be the output of this program. I'm calling, see here, shape is generic. Circle is also a kind of shape. And rectangle is also a kind of shape. So your type is shape. Now, when I say c dot of shape name, which classes shape name method will be called? So give me the output of this and let me see. This is your shape. This is your circle. Now, I don't like this. Guys, give me the output here. And if you can just send the messages to me, then everybody sends just direct message to me.
Can you split the two screens?
I try to do it. Ravi, do you know how to do that? I'm trying to see if you will only be able to see. Okay, so this is a circle class, and this is a rectangle, and this is your shape. You don't have to worry about shape, right? This is just an interface. So let's go. Rectangle is right here, and circle is right here. And this is your hello.apex. And this is your rectangle. Has everybody given the answers? I haven't received any answers so far. Okay, much better. Okay, guys, can you tell me what the output is going to be? Okay, I only got one answer from Lohit so far. Guys, is there any problems of understanding what we're covering? Lena, let's start with you. What's going to happen here?
System.debug is
Hmm?
can you open the other one?
Which one?
Yeah, this one that you are yes. So a system.debug is the shape name, which is the circle 5.
Okay, circle 5. Okay, okay. So what is the shape name here? Let's just do
New
this.
circle.
No. Let's start from here. So, okay, this is shape C is equals to new circle, right?
Yeah,
So at this point, what is being called behind the scene? A circle class or a rectangle class? What
the circle
happens?
class. The circle
Okay,
class.
so the 5 goes where?
The 5 goes inside the double R.
Okay, which is the constructor, right?
Yeah,
So inside the 5 goes to R. So what is happening inside of the constructor?
double R. So you double the value.
No,
No,
remember
it's
double
called.
is a data type.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's gonna be 5 here.
5 for what? What is 5?
The radius.
Very good. So the radius is 5. This becomes 5, right?
Mhm.
Then it is saying the next one is rectangle, right? So now you will go to the rectangle class,
Correct.
right? And what is being called here? A constructor, correct?
Yes.
So which line will be invoked in this in this rectangle class?
It's gonna be can you go back to the code?
Yeah, right
Uh,
here.
okay, yeah, can you go back to the rectangle class? It's gonna
Okay,
be invoked line 5.
very good. So then inside of this, what's happening?
So we have the width and the height, which are inside the other class, the
Yeah.
the 4 and the 6.
Okay, so the width is 4 and the height is 6, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now what's happening over here in this line? C dot of shape name. So what's happening? Where do I need to go for this one?
To the other class.
Which other class?
See
Do I
the
need to
shape.
go to the circle class? Do I need to go to the shape class, the shape interface, or do I need to go to the
To
rectangle class?
the shape interface.
Okay. Okay, then what's happening here?
Here we have the area parameter and shape name. So
Hmm. So, but there is nothing inside of these methods. These are all abstract methods,
yeah.
right? So,
Mhm.
so then what's happening? Where do I need to go? Look at the code again. What is C?
C is the circle class.
Yeah, so when I say C dot of shape name, what's gonna go? Where does it gonna go?
It's gonna go to the circle class.
Very good. Then what's gonna happen? What is gonna be invoked here? When I say C dot of shape name. Do you see a method with the name shape name here?
Yeah, it's the last one, line 17.
Very good. So then what it is going to return?
It's gonna return the system debug of the shape name.
What is the shape name?
It's the last line, which is a return circle.
Yeah, so it's returning you a text, right? A string, which is
Mhm.
circle. So
Yeah.
this one, if you go here, it's going to say circle. Now, what is the area? So this is going to print as it is, right? It is inside the quotes. And then C dot of area. So we will go to the circle
C
class.
dot area is gonna C dot area is gonna line 9, which is the math.pi.
Maths.pi is give you the value of pi, which is 3.14. What is the radius here?
5.
Very good. Radius is 5. So 3.14 into 5 into 5. Then over here, what's going to happen in line number 4?
And line number 4.
Yeah. Where do I need to go from here?
We're gonna go to the other class.
Okay. Tell me the name of the class, Lena.
Oh,
There
the
are
rectangle. The rectangle.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
In the rectangle class, we would go to the shape class, to the shape method.
Okay.
And the shape method, we have the return, which is return rectangle. And then and then the parameter, which if you go back to the rectangle class.
Very good.
Yeah, it's the width times 2 times width plus height.
Very good. So what will be that value?
2 plus
2 multiply.
2 multiply by is it
Width
4
plus height.
plus 6? Yeah.
20, right?
20, yeah.
Okay, so now let's go. Everybody understood? Please, if anybody has any questions, good job, Lohit. Why nobody else gave me the answers? Rahul, what went with you?
Yeah, I needed to see that screen, all the class file side by side, but
Okay,
anyway,
that's fine. Okay, but did you understand what's going on?
yes, yeah, I
Okay.
could explain.
Okay, good. So now so always remember what is being called on the right side, which object, and depending upon that, that class method will be invoked. So in this case, circle area is 78, rectangle parameter is 20. Okay, and it says circle here and then rectangle here. Now moving on to the next one. Jaya, are you following?
Sort
Okay,
of.
next.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Next time, what I'm going to do is you guys can actually look at this one and maybe this will help you. Now we'll create another class. Sorry, interface. This is the name. Okay, and inside of here, you only have one method declared actually, which is the calculate. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and deploy. Okay, and then we'll create another class, and this class is a UK tax calculator, and Control-Shift-P, create Apex class. This is this one, and here we will use the keyword implements. So we'll say implements, and then we will say tax calculator, and inside of this, I will have to define my calculator method, and this is the answer here. And similarly, we will go to the US tax calculator, which is another class, and this is the name here, implements. And actually, we don't have to worry about this. We will look at with sharing in the later classes, but I don't think it's going to cause any issue with us. Tax calculator, and over here you have a method calculate, which is nothing but the one coming from the interface. And now this is and then you have invoice processor class. And then inside of this, you have, okay, so this is the one. And now let's go ahead and write this. Okay, so let me deploy all these. Why is it taking so long? Okay. Let's go here. Okay, so now like going back to this one, we are saying invoice processor, which is this class, and this class is it's not basically implementing or anything. Okay, so this is just a standalone class, I believe. And let me get, so if I go up here, it is a standalone class. Okay, so now looking at this hello.apex, what is going to be the output of this program? So in this case, let's start with you, Ajay. Where do I need to go? Which class out of these three classes on the top?
First one is invoice processor.
Okay, so I'll go to the invoice processor, and what are we passing here?
Text calculator function. So there is
Is
a
it a
function.
function? Is it a function? Tell me,
sorry,
is it a function?
sorry, class.
Okay, so if I go to, but what is being called here?
So there is a
You are saying new of US tax calculator. So if you go to invoice processor, it is basically, this is the constructor that is being called, right?
yes.
Right. And inside of this, you're passing what? You're passing in the, if you go here, you're passing an object of US tax calculator. So it is going to go here, and it is going to going to invoke the, we don't have anything like that. So here, if I go back, your US tax calculator. So if I go to the invoice processor, what is the tax calculator value going to be?
Okay. First invoice processor new the object of text. Can you open this UK tax calculator class?
UK tax calculator, yeah.
Okay, so this is going to to be called, like, whatever the value returns from this
So this is just
method
calling
will,
the constructor, right? You're basically saying, okay,
yes,
pass in the object of UK tax calculator and pass in the object of US tax calculator, right?
yes.
Okay. Now here UK proc dot get tax of 1000. So which get tax method will be called?
Go to invoice processor.
Okay.
But the calculation happened in UK tax calculator class.
Yeah. So where should I go from here?
So from here, it's confusing.
Okay, I'll show you. Okay, so this is what is happening. So you basically created a invoice processor, right? So you went over to the invoice processor, and to this invoice processor, you are passing the object. Okay, you're passing the object of UK tax calculator. And if you go to invoice processor, you will see there is a constructor. So behind the scene, this is the line that is being called. And first time you are passing an object of UK, and the second line you're passing the object of US. That's it. Nothing else is happening. Now you come to UK PROC. Now UK processor, which is this, is of type what? Is of the type UK tax calculator. So the get tax method of the UK tax calculator would be called. So if I go here to the invoice get tax, the calculate method, which calculate method will be called? The one that is coming from UK. So to this, you're passing in 1000. So 1000 multiplied by 0.20, that comes out to be how much? 1000
I think
multiplied by
200.
0.20, 200, right? So 200. So now in this case, your UK tax is 200. Now it is going to the next line, US tax. So again, it will go to invoice processor, get tax. What is calculate? Now in this case, it is calculating tax calculator, which is going invoking the US one. So US is 0.08. So in this case, 1000 multiplied by 0.08, what is going to be the tax here?
80
I believe 80. So that's how it is going to calculate. So 20% on 1000 is 200. So now if I go ahead and execute this, you will see what happened. Line 111 type. Did I not deploy that class? I did.
Is it the sharing?
No, but I'm a system admin, so I shouldn't be an issue. I don't know why it's freaking takes so long to deploy. It was working fine. That's why it takes a while for this Visual Studio Code. But everybody got the Visual Studio Code installed on their machines. Is there anybody who doesn't have the Visual Studio Code? Is anybody
I
running
still
into
need
any
to,
issues?
yeah, I still need to install on my machine. I haven't get a chance to install it.
Yeah, me
It
too.
literally takes 15 minutes, guys. I'll tell you what you need to install. You need Java. Okay. So go to Oracle website and download the latest JDK. Second thing you will need is Salesforce CLI. So go to the Salesforce CLI website, download the latest from there. Then you also need Visual Studio Code, download that. And then you come over to the extensions and download two extension pack. One is the Salesforce extension pack, and the other one is Salesforce CLI, I believe. This pack, Salesforce extension pack, and then there is Salesforce CLI, this one. So those are the two you need. So now going back, why is this?
I think it's still complaining.
Oh,
No,
right here. It was
it
just
did.
a reply. So UK
Yeah.
200 and US is 80. So here you're just passing in the object. So you can see here invoice processor is expecting something of the type tax calculator. So the first time you pass in an object of UK tax calculator, and the second time you passed in the object of US tax calculator. Then you are saying ukproc.get tax. So again, it will come to invoice processor, get tax, and you passing in 1000 over here. Now what is tax calculator in at this point? So tax calculator is nothing but an object of UK tax calculator, so it will go here and it will give you 200. Everybody follow? Any questions? Guys, if you have any questions, this is the time to speak up.
So in this case, that new tax calculator is literally an object parameter.
Yes, it is just you're creating the object here. You could have done it in two different lines. You could have said something like not invoice processor. It should have been tax calculator, and here you could have said tax calculator tx okay, UK tax calculator equals to new of UK tax calculator, and instead of doing this you could have just passed this whole thing over here. Okay, similarly you could have done tax calculator again, and this time you could have done US tax calculator, and here you would have passed the US tax calculator, and this time you would have passed this one. The result will remain the same. So here if I go to this and execute it, wait a minute, let me execute it one more time. Okay, see, the result is still the same. Okay, so you did it in two separate steps here, and over there we just did everything combined into one. Any
Becky, I
questions?
have a question. Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So if I remove line number 4 and 5,
Yeah.
okay, and on line number 7 and 8, if I directly put UK text plus UKTX dot get text, so will I get the same result or I get the error?
Okay, so now here UK text dot of get tax. First of all, if you go here, you don't have get tax method. The
Okay,
tax method is available in this case you're going to get an error because get tax method is not available in the UK tax. It is available only in invoice processor.
okay.
Okay, because invoice processor has the get tax method, which is calling your respective classes calculate method. So if I go ahead here and try to execute it, you will see method does not exist or incorrect signature.
But
Okay.
somehow if we make a link, suppose inside the UK text calculator class, we link hello Apex, class, so then it will work.
As long as there is a get tax method in the UK tax calculator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. So always remember that in the right hand side, that object needs to have that method. So over here, UK tax, which belongs to tax calculator interface, that doesn't have the get tax method, and neither this one has the get tax method. So it's going to give you an error. Now moving on, let's go ahead and do another example on interface so things will get a little bit more clear. Now this is the benefit of, let's just do this. So there is a interface called printable. Okay. So you have a interface here which has a method called print info. And here, similarly, we will go to the employee and we will go ahead and create a class here. And inside of this, it implements printable. And inside of this class, you will have to define this method. So let's go ahead and provide the definition. Similarly, we will go to another class, and this class is called as department. Implements printable, and then here okay. Now one more thing we will do is this. Now Rahul, this is the benefit of your doing an interface, because see, you don't have to see you created a list of the type printable. Now in this printable, you can put an employee, you can put a department, you can also put another employee. All three are of the type printable, because all of these, employee class as well as department class, implements the printable interface. Okay, so now what will be the output here, guys? So let's start with first. So we are creating a list of the type printable, means you can only put something which is of the type printable. So the first time you are saying new of employee. So when you say new of employee, the employee class constructor will be passed, and you are passing two parameters. One is Sarah and the other one is 55,000. So here, if I go to this employee class, this is the constructor that is being called. So the name is Sarah and salary would be 55,000. Okay, so here what I'll do, you created a employee, name is Sarah, and salary is 55,000. So then going back here, you go to the Hello Apex, department, engineering, and 12. So it will go to the department, and the constructor of department will be called. So the department name in this case would be what? Department name would be engineering. And what was the other parameter? Head count. I believe head count 12. That's what I thought. Head count is 12. And now going back again to the hello, it is saying employee. So you have another employee here. So we'll go back to the employee class. So then this time the name is going to be equals to, so the name would be James. And what was the other thing? Salary is equals to, so going back, so you have another employee, salary is 62,000. So here, this is 62,000. Now, printable items. So all these things, all this got added into this list, which is the name items. So now you're iterating over the items. First time item will have this, second item in the items would be this, and the third item is this. Okay, so now it is calling item dot of print info. So item is of the type employee. So we'll go to the employee here, and print info means employee name is Sarah, salary is 55,000. Then it is going back again to Hello Apex. It will go ahead and do a print info from department. So it will say department is engineering, head count is 12. Third, it will go back here and it will go to the next item, come to the employee class, James, and 62,000. Are you getting my question? How we came over to this answer? So when you call this hello, first time, this is going to call the employee class constructor. This is going to call the department class constructor, and this is going to call the employee class constructor. Again, you added all these elements into this list, which is of the type printable. So one item, all the items are of the type printable, but actually one is an employee type, the second one is a department type, and the third is also employee type. Then you are iterating over every element and you are displaying, calling the print info method. So employee class also has a print info method, and department class also has a print info method. So in the case of employee class, it is printing the name of the employee. So the name was Saraf in the first case, salary was 50,000. The second time department was engineering, and the head count was 12. So that became, and then the third one, James, and 62,000. So if I go ahead and execute this, that's exactly, oh, I haven't deployed it. So let me deploy. You always remember to deploy it before you're executing it.
So when you deploy from at the classes level, does it deploy everything regardless of the change?
I believe so. So if you see here,
Okay.
sometimes there is, yeah, it did, and it will tell you what changed and what didn't change. So it deployed
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
Okay. So here, if I go ahead and execute it, I'm going to cancel it and see if this works. Okay, so you can see here, first time Sarah and salaries, this engineering and headcount, James, and 62,000. Any questions on interfaces?
Yes. So as long as you print the call the print info method, then it will.
Yes, so it will call the print info method, but you need to know which class print info method. First time it called the employee class print info method. Second time it called the department class print info method. And the third time it called the employee class again print info method. Are you
Okay.
getting my point, Omar?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Okay, so that's how it is. Now, tomorrow, my question to you guys is, do you want more questions on interfaces, or am I good to point out the next topic?
More
If you,
examples, please.
for example, on interfaces again?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. What else, guys? I'll bring up some, because I pretty much covered everything in the interfaces, but I'll find few more, and then we will go to the next topic, which is your DML and database methods. So we'll cover half an hour of interfaces again tomorrow, and then we'll go to the next topic.
Deepika, I have a question. One
Sure,
is
go ahead.
after VS Code installation, that Salesforce Apex, is that a mandatory installation needed?
Salesforce Apex, what is that?
No, you said that once the VS Code is installed, after that you have to install Salesforce CLI. From
Okay, so on that day, where did I post? I posted a video. Did you guys look at that video in our group?
no, I'm saying that is that a mandatory?
I think the extension pack is mandatory and the
Yes.
CLI
Extension
is
pack.
mandatory.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Salesforce CLI.
extension pack.
Those two are mandatory.
Okay,
Yes.
that's okay. Now,
Yeah, those two are
second question.
mandatory.
The second
And
question
Java
is
is
that,
also mandatory, because what happens is if your computer doesn't have Java, if you
Yeah.
try to set up this default org or something and try to retrieve your classes from the, or nothing is going to work. So Java is also needed.
okay. And another question is that when there will be a need to just use the abstract class. I'm not talking about the interface, just the abstract class.
So the need would be, if, okay, what is the difference? Okay, if you have certain methods, you want to provide the definition. because abstract method can have abstract as well as non-abstract methods, right? So if there is a requirement where some methods you are good to provide the body, and that body will be applicable to every other class which extends, in that case you can go with abstract class.
Oh, okay. So when everything is not defined, that's when interface.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. When everything is abstract, that's when you go to an interface. In an abstract class, you can have abstract as well as non-abstract methods.
Got it. But can we just, I mean, we should not be using any abstract class where we just have abstract method. In that case,
You
it's better
better to
to use
use interface. Yeah.
interface.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay,
Divya.
guys. Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
I'll see you tomorrow. And if you have any questions, you're stuck at something, you can always message me, guys. Remember, I told you in the beginning, you guys need to reach out to me if you're facing any issues, or you feel the class is going a little too fast or a little too slow. You let me know, and then I'll change the pace accordingly. Okay? Okay, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.